Hello my darlings, and welcome back to Henford on Bagley. We are back in the area of Old New Henford today, and you know where we are. We are in the Hamlet of Whittington. This time we're on to a new lot and a new family. Everybody meet the Everly family. Mum, Clara, and her teenage sons, Elliott and Jude. So let's get into game and meet them a little bit more. You can use my code BUMPKIN at checkout on the EA app or at sims.com. I receive a small commission from your purchase and you greatly support me and the channel. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday, my loves, and welcome back to Let's Build the World. And here we are with a brand new family, the Everly family, my loves. We're going to go around and introduce you to each and every one of them right now, starting with the mum, of course. This is Clara Everly. So Clara lived in, we're going to say, the Sims World version of London, where she was, I'm going to say she was an editor, kind of have that sort of vibe about her. She went through a bit of a messy divorce with her ex-husband, who is not on the scene anymore. He's not in contact with the children either, for the main reasons of he is an asshole. I think we can all maybe get the gist of what he was like. He wasn't a good person, and Clara had had enough of it, so she took both of the boys to move somewhere a bit quieter where she could further her now career. She's no longer an editor. She is a conservationist. So she helps out people in the local areas with compost management, making the older cottages a little bit more energy efficient. She's got her own company that she goes around and sells solar panels, windmills, that kind of vibe, you know, like wind turbines, sorry. And she just wants to make the place a little bit better. So that is Clara in a nutshell. She's very, very earthy. She's down to earth. She's passionate about green living, but she's also very practical as well. So it's more kind of spreadsheets, that kind of vibe, rather than like sort of crystals and moon charts and all of that sort of stuff. You know where I'm going with it. But she's still very much in touch with the environment and nature, and she just wants to make the world a better place, you know? She's starting a new life here. I think they've lived here since the boys were maybe around about the age of 11, so a good 5 years. They are 16 now, I'm going to say. And they really enjoy village life, really. Apart from one, really, and that's Elliott. So this here is our lovely Elliott. Now, Elliott is definitely the quieter of the twins, may I add. They are both exactly the same age. He's a bit more of a inside kind of guy. He likes his home comforts. He's always got his nose in a book or playing a video game. He's writing as well. He loves to write. He does really love photography too. So you'll often see him about in the countryside taking really nice photos of stuff and documenting nature stuff. But his main love is to write, and he spends a lot of his free time doing so. And he's really looking at getting into the equivalent of, we're going to say Edinburgh, a university, like an art school. He kind of wants to go and maybe further his writing skills, or maybe get into a bit of photography, or even into a bit of art of some kind, fine art, media, whatever. He doesn't really know yet, and nor should he. He's only 16 years old, you know, so he's just finding himself at the minute. He really is. And you'll probably find out that most of his friends actually do reside online. He does to like game. He loves to game with his friends and stuff. He's got a big community that he sort of reaches out to in need, and they live all around the Sims 4 world. So that is him. That's Elliott. I think he's absolutely glorious. And I think this family are going to fit in really nicely to this village. They really are. Now, moving on to his twin brother, who has got his dad's red hair, may I just add. This is Jude. So Jude is a little bit more outgoing than his brother. They are still very close, and Jude is still very protective over Elliott as well. I'm going to say fiercely protective over him. He's very loud, he's very funny, he's very popular. I'm going to say that. He's still very kind though, even though he is the life of the party, and he does get up to some kind of mischief every now and again. Nothing malicious, but kind of like sneaking out to go meet his friends, staying out for an all-nighter when they, you know, I'm going around to Debbie's house. When you're not, you're going to go into the park and drink a bottle of Lambrini and spin around on a broom. Same from personal experience. But he also likes to help out his neighbours too. And main reason for that is he's trying to save up for a moped or a motorbike. A little Vespa, like one of those. He's trying to save up for one of them just to give himself a little bit more freedom and stuff to be able to go and see his friends. And a few of his friends have got them, so he kind of wants to join in with that. And I'm going to say he kind of like documents his life vlog form. I reckon he's got quite a few followers actually on their version of maybe like TikTok, that kind of vibe. And he thinks he can make something out of this. Now, he's got quite a few. I'm going to say maybe around about 100 to 200,000 subscribers. And that's quite a lot. And it's nothing bad. There's a few harmless pranks here and there. But it's just really documenting his life after London and living in the countryside and enjoying all of what the countryside has to offer. But yeah, I like the dynamic of this. A single parent household. I think it's very important. A really close and tight-knit family too. I really like that about them. Now, I'm going to say that they did have a dog, just to make the storyline a little bit more interesting. They had a family dog, but the family dog actually sadly passed away. And they're all still feeling the grief of that at the minute. I reckon it was quite recent, maybe like 4 to 6 months. They do want to get another one day. But at the minute, they're all a little bit too heartbroken because it was the most perfect dog in the world, like they all are. But they're kind of going through that at the minute. Because I know one of you out there is going to be like, why haven't they got a dog or a cat? Because they're going through a bit of grief, you know? They're going through a bit of grief and they're not ready for another one just yet. But here we are. This is where we're going to be building, right next to where the old smithy house is going to be. I really want this to be a 3-bedroom home. So the bedrooms might be a little bit on the smaller side. I do want it to kind of reflect in with the street that we're on. I probably want to go down the route of making this one a little bit lighter like we did over there. And it's going to be a nice quintessential looking English cottage vibe. But I do want to make this place eco-friendly. So I'm going to be putting some like solar panels on the roof and stuff. I really want that to come through because of Clara's kind of like work, you know? But that's it. Nothing more needs to be said. Let's get into the build mode properly. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to get started. Right, my love. So here we go. Now, I don't want it to join straight up with the smithy. I want there to be some kind of like maybe old lane that used to go down this way. So I am going to do that, which in turn might make me put a couple more windows on the old smithy itself. So I might do that just to edit the world up a little bit. But this is what we're going to do. Here we bloody go. I've got no plans for this. We're just going to see what comes. I don't know whether to have a little bit of like an inset doorway here. This might take up a bit more room than what I want it to. But I think I do want to go down that route. We can put the stairs here. This would probably be a big enough area for a kitchen and a living area down here. Dining room too, obviously. But let me just see. Let me pull this in, get this going, and we'll see what we come up with. Because then what we can do for this here is put some like gates here, or fences, sorry, and have this as a small little courtyard garden for this house in particular. I think that could be quite a good vibe, actually, to be honest. To be actually honest with you. I think that could be quite a good vibe. Now, how the hell are we going to fit 2 3 bedrooms up here? Well, I'm going to start drawing it in now and hoping for the best. If I can do one there... Oh, no, because of where the stairs are going to go. Let's get the stairs in first. Yeah, I think the inset doorway's not going to work just because of how small this lot is going to be. So I'm going to do the stairs right there, which we can get up to this level here now. But we're not going to be able to get to that bedroom. But what I could maybe do, a family bath there. We need 2 more bedrooms out of this. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I think we can. I think what we can do is bring this all the way down to here. Boop you in there like that. One of the bedrooms here. So we've got 2 of the teen bedrooms. They are small, but, you know, they don't need much space, to be honest, because we are going to be putting maybe bunk beds in them, to be perfectly truthful with you. So we've got an access point here to get into the bathroom. One of the bedrooms access point there, one of the bedrooms access point there, and one of them there. Perfect. Very simple. Honestly, people overcomplicate things sometimes. You don't need to, my loves. You really bloody don't. Now, there's no way I can come out any further here with, like, say I wanted to do that, just because it will make this lane far too tight. Because the door needs to open and everything. It just doesn't make sense. Does not make sense whatsoever. So, we need a roof line up here. Now, a lot of the roofs up here have got the moss on them, but because we are going for a bit more of an eco-conscious kind of house that maybe have been kind of updated with things, I think a new roof would have been put on here because we are, as I said, going to put in some solar panels and stuff. So Bob's your uncle. Pat your tits. Not pat your tits, but pat your tits, you know? Let's bring this roof line down maybe just a little bit further than these. Yeah, let's make this one a little bit more of the dominating build on this street, to be honest. Yeah, lovely. I think that's going to work out quite nicely. Yeah, we can do that. Right, now what I need to figure out is, in fact, let's do this first. Let's do a floor plan down here. Hopefully you can see that. I'll turn the grid on so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Do I want to do a small toilet down here? Because we're not going to need any kind of access out from the back. Now, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not. You can't make me. You are not my mum. Yes, why do I have to do that every time? Let's draw that wall down there. This could be the living room. And then this little nook over here would be perfect to have like a desk or something in there. I think that would be perfect. Oh, I do want to put the door here. So that wall needs to go to there. We can keep the stairs in the living room. So they could walk straight into the living room, to be honest with you. Where's the middle here? These two doors. So if I did you to there and you around, I want a kitchen and dining room. I might keep that all open plan too, rather than separating it off. And then that's just very simple and it's going to work. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can now go ahead and pick all the windows, the wallpapers and the door. It is going to reflect a lot of what we've done already, but I do want it to look just a little bit different. Not too different from everything else. We need to remember this is a Cotswoldsy kind of village, so a lot of the houses look the same. I'm just trying to go along that kind of realistic route with this lot. But I still want it to kind of stand out a little bit. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that's what we're going to do. So we've picked out some beautiful things and we're going to go for this Foxbury stone. I just really like the sandstone of that, and I still think that blends in with the rest of the village nicely. It just looks a little bit sharper, a little bit different than the rest of them. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to flop this all the way around. All on here too. And at the front. Stunning. I still love this stone. Didn't it come with, University? I think this is a great brick. Even for modern builds, that looks really nice on. Decided on going for a bigger door than what I originally had planned. So I have changed the floor plan in here just a little bit. But this is still going to be big enough in here to put a dining room table. So that's where I'm thinking about putting that. So I'm very happy. Using some university windows, I'm going to flop them up to the max height. Let's get this grid on while I do this so I can see what I'm doing. Up above as well, please. I'm going to do one smack bang in the middle. You all know this shape. I've built this shape many, many times. But it's that kind of Georgian-esque look to it. And I think that looks very smart at the front of the home there. I'm feeling ivy on this build, much like this one over here. I think we should climb some ivy on this one too. One thing I didn't really like very much, but we're still going to do it anyway because it's the best out of a bad bunch, my loves. I had thoughts. More on that at 12. I'll show you in a second. We're going to do you to there. This one's going to be slightly offset. So I'm going to do you to there. So you can see there's a bit more of a bigger gap here. But that's fine. Because what we're going to do is balance that out by putting a smaller window going into the stairwell. And popping that up there. Now this is what I wasn't all too keen on. But we'll, as I've said, the pick of a bad bunch, loves. In the beginning I had modern windows here because I thought that maybe they modernized it slightly. I could kind of see that happening with Clara. More energy efficient windows and stuff. But these ones here just fit in with the theme a little bit better. I think I had them up a little bit higher actually, around about there. Yes. And then these are from Snowy Escape, by the way. And then this one here goes into where the kitchen area is. So it doesn't perfectly match in with those windows, but I still think we can get away with that. In the beginning, I had the Snowy Escape modern windows. And it just, I wasn't vibing with it, loves. I really wasn't. We are going to put some chimneys on. I'm going to do this one in this spot here. I'm also going to size it down. And I'm going to lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let me see that. Perfect. And we'll do the same over on this side. I know, shocking. Size you down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Boop. Like that. Let me see from down here so we can... Yeah, look. That's going to fit in a vibe, isn't it? Once we've got details and stuff on there too. We're going to be absolutely grand, loves. We really are. Sorry, I did have to burp then. I didn't want to do it in your face because that would have been rude. It would have been rude. I was brought up better than that. So, let's get a fence on the little courtyard. So it's going to be quite dark here. It's probably going to be hard to grow things and stuff, but at least they're going to have somewhere they can come outside. So we do need to think about doors and stuff here. And maybe, I didn't really plan this, but maybe some windows for these sides too. Not going to do them on this side here because I am going to be building right up to this one. It's not going to be standing alone. Okay. Okay, thoughts. Maybe some bifolds. We can add the modern energy in with the bifolds. It's a shame that it's not off of the living room, but that doesn't really matter. That's fine. So let's get in some bifold doors. Let's do it. You know, let's treat ourselves. It is a Thursday after all, you know. I am going to be pre-recording today's and tomorrow's videos. And I'm also going to be pre-recording the next two Let's Build the Worlds videos as well. We're going to be moving over to this lot here, which is going to be the laundry and the kind of like masonette, we're going to call it, above it, because I'm going to be doing a little downstairs area and upstairs. So yeah, just in case you see me in the next video wearing this top again. Once again, I'm not a dirty bitch. I just, I'm pre-recording. The end. Nothing more needs to be said. Right, if I can get these smaller windows on this side. We don't need to go big with the windows. Let's go straight in. Is that in the centre? I think it is, yes. And flop you to there. Okay, so again, once again, it's offset slightly. It's bigger on this side, but I I prefer imbalance to balance. I really do. Unless it's Georgian, like the front, like this. Then that just... Oh, that is imbalanced. I've just noticed. I bet one of you is screaming. Oh, should we just leave that imbalanced? Not the front. The front needs to stay exactly the same. It was the door. It was the door that wasn't balanced. The door is now balanced, which means I just have to move this window and also this window here over to there like that. Is that correct? No. I think what I'm going to do is move this one over. There we go. That's better. That is indeed better. Lovely. The rest can stay as it is. It's fine. I like it like that. Okay. Right. So what was I doing? We were finding a fence for here, weren't we? No, I was just about to say we probably need privacy, but they need access more than privacy. So I don't think they'd be fussed. They wouldn't be fussed about people looking into their courtyard. At least they got one, you know? That's more than a lot of the villagers can say. So, what fence? I might actually go down the route of using the same fence we used on the community garden. Because the fence, the gate blends in really well with it. Let me see. Can we go there? Why are you not? There we are. Oh, yeah. That works. And we'll do the same here too. Let's grab the matching gate. And we'll pop it on this side. Like that. So it kind of blends in nicely. So at least they've got access out from that area too. To be able to walk down to the shops or something, you know? Oh, vibing. Right. Okay. Drains. The all-important drain pipe. I think we might go for a little bit more of a gold on this one. Maybe this colour. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Let's get you back. Bring you there. And let's get another little drain pipe going up to there, please. And if you would, I would like a nice little drainage system here. Thank you. Flop you to there like this. Beautiful job. Let's get a mailbox in. Not in the red. We are going to go for a nicer... Well, it's not so much as... Not a nicer colour, just a different colour. That's a better way to reword it, isn't it? Not with a face on, for goodness sake. Honestly, I swear the Sims team thinks we're all 12. Stop it. Yeah, we'll do that one. I enjoy it. I'm for it. I'm still debating on changing the colour of this, you know. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to match in with the rest of them. Let me see. Better. We need to do one on the other side, but we can concentrate on that once we get around to it. So, do I want to do some kind of awning over the top of this doorway? Let's have a look. Oh, I tell you what, we absolutely do. It is a little bit too small. I might just size it up really subtly. Let's try 1.1 first. I think even that might be a bit too big. No, that's fine. Yes, move you along. Oh, no, Let's get out of the door mod. Thank you. Still haven't updated my mods, by the way. Thank you. Yes. That blends in really nicely. It goes with the colour of the door really well. I think this is from Cats and Dogs, so maybe that's the reason. Lovely. And as I said, ivy. I think we'll go for the same ivy as what we've put here. University ivy. And I'm going to drape this on quite a bit of it, I think. Oh, no. Let's start over this way. Thank you. I don't want you to surround that mailbox. Let's bring you up to here. There we go. Let's get down to this level so I can see where I'm working. There we are. Flop you up to there like this. And then we can detail more up here. I do want it to be quite a substantial amount. I can grab you to there. Let's bring you all the way along. Just like this, my darling. Lovely. Can we come down just a touch? This might be... Oh, is it enveloping underneath? Look. I mean... Storylines. That's what I'm going to put that down to. Thank you. Let's bring this up a little bit higher here. Let me just see if nothing's poking up too much. Oh, you are. Not having that. Let's size you down. Bring you to there. Yep, that's better. Okay. Lovely. And then... Let me get the full build out so I can see. We need a little bit more over here. So I might actually just go ahead and put this here. We'll do some window boxes down. Might even do some window boxes above as well. You know, traits. Little window box traits. And I am going to bring you down here slightly as well. Right, where are you? Right, if I can flop you. Ah, no. There. And there. Let me see this. Yeah, but I do think that this does need to come down just slightly here. And I might do a planter in front of that. No, I can't because the mailbox is there, Aiden, you silly bum. Okay. Yeah, happy with that. So, as I said, window boxes. I think this one here would work. Oh, it does. It very much does. It works perfectly. If I can grab you to there and you. Do you want to do them on all the windows? Why not? You know, it's the summer. Treat yourself. Yes, very nice. Lovely job. Okay. And then we need some lights for the outside. There is that new wall light, the little globe. What would that look like? It kind of gets enveloped in that ivy a bit too much. What about this one instead? Thinks it sticks out. Oh, there we go. Look. Yeah, let's do one there. And what? Can I put these on the door frame? No. We'll stick here. There and there. Oh, she's beautiful. She's very pretty. I do enjoy it indeed. This is a tight spot to be able to put in some bins, isn't it? But I am going to do the bin. I'm going to do the absolute bin. I don't know where. I don't want to put it right outside the house. Maybe by the light here. Let me see this. That wall needs to stop disappearing so I can see it. It's good for gameplay though, because you can like, you know, get right in there and see what you're doing. Okay, yeah, happy with that. Lovely job. I think that's the front, you know. I'm actually quite pleased with how it looks. It's reminiscent of a lot of the builds, like this one here, but looks different. And also this one. They're very similar in shape, but I just think it blends in very nicely. Beautiful. Okay. So the back. Now, we don't really need to do too much to the back, to be honest. I would, however, like to climb some ivy up. I think that would be a good little touch for the back area. Not going to do window boxes back here, though. I don't think it's needed. They haven't really got access to be able to get out here. And ta-da, that's all I need to say. Right, you are going to be a bitch. Let's put you up like that. And then let's get this looking a little bit more natural here. There we go. A little bit thicker at the edge there, please. Oh. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm happy with that as well. Stunning. Obviously, we need some solar panels, don't we? I might go to town on these. I'd like at least 4. I think we could get 4 on there. Let's start from the middle first. There we go. 1 there. 1 there. I reckon the Hamlet was up in airs about this. Oh, they were fuming that someone was putting some solar panels on these gorgeous quintessential cottages, but she won her case. She won her case with the residents, after she sweet talked him in a parish council meeting about conservation. And it's actually spurred a few of the others on to start thinking about it seriously, about putting in some on their on their homes. You've got to laugh, haven't you? You've got to laugh at these storylines. Right, so we're going to do a patio back here. What would you look like? Oh, let me just see this. Because it still gives a little... Oh, I like that. Yeah, it shows a little bit of grass in between them. That's the ticket. I'm going to bring those lights around here too. I'm going to put them side by side off of the bifold doors. Is that the right height? Oh, these are up a bit higher. I thought they looked a little bit too low. What was that noise I just made? Maybe that one. And that one. Stunning. Right, they've got a gorgeous view from here, so I want them to make full use of it. I mean, look at that. The houses up here have got the best view, I must say. You know? Now, it's very tight. But... what could we get there? Can I fit 2 chairs there? I don't think I can. Well, if that's the case, if we can't put a chair here, maybe putting in... I don't think there is a table small enough with bar stools. I had a bar stool situation come into my head then. Honestly, the whistles. The only one really is the one from Dine Out, and I just don't think that's going to look right here. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one here. Let me just see this. If I can get you in, can we change this colour to something a little bit more fitting with everything else? Maybe if I even went black with it, you know. Oh, do you know what? I think we can make that work. I'm going to pull you right into about there. In fact, I could. No, I'm not going to overhang it. Let's just put it to there. Perfect fit. Look at that. Let me see the gap in between there. Oh, there isn't one. Oh, it's like it was custom built, we're going to say. From scrap metal, may I add. And some bar stools. Now, we are going for a very nice sort of modernised look in the interior. It's going to be quite a contemporary space, but I still want hits of like bare stone walls and stuff. That's the kind of vibe I want there. At least they got a lovely view to have some lunch and stuff. Kind of into that. Where is the gate? Is that the gate? Yes, the gate opens from there. Okay, so we've got all of this space here to play with now. I think maybe a barbecue, a small barbecue would be perfect. Maybe we could use this one and go a little bit lighter with it. Can we put it there? I think we can. And then they've got enough space to be able to walk through, also cook and sit up there. Yeah, great. So maybe just here then, maybe give them some kind of seating. That patio set would probably be the best thing to use, or the only thing to use, really. But that being said, let me just have a little look-ski at you. I mean, you don't fit the vibe colour-wise. Oh, that one does, though. Yeah, let's do that. Pop a bit of you out here. The gate opens here. So we have got this spot here. Maybe what I could do there is add in a tree. One of these like planted trees. I don't really know what one to use. Can we fit this one? No. Far too big. I think maybe going for our Old Faithful. This one here is even a bit big. Can I push it into there without it going inside? What is with the innuendos? It's like an episode of Bake Off today, loves. It really is. Yeah. That looks good. It's not so much privacy, but it does kind of hide away a lot of the sort of backdrop, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm completely happy. That came together really nicely. Very nicely indeed. There are a few things I just want to pop out the front here, like a planter. I might go for this one here, but size it down. Ooh, no, not you. This is such a perfect small planter, but I just hate the colour of the grass in it. I don't know why. Why did they go with that bluey, weird grass? And I really liked that as well. I thought it was going to be great, and it's not. Maybe this one. Maybe this can fit in the front here. Oh, it does look. We do need to move this. I'm going to be popping it over here instead. I'll edit this up a little bit. Let's size you down. There we go. Let's move you slightly. In fact, I'm going to size you down too. Just so it looks like it can get right to that without any problems. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, great. Okay. With that being said then, let's get a little rug in here. I'm going to go for a dog bone. I know it's sad, but Penelope, that was the name of their dog. She lived the best life. She really did. Lived their best life. Well into old age. We'll do a little dog bone in memory of her. Lovely job. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's very simple, but it just works. It's going to blend in with this place perfectly. So, we're going to be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we're cracking on with the downstairs. So, we're going to be doing the kitchen and dining room and also the living area. And then next week, the following week, we'll get up and we'll start furnishing the upstairs. So, that's what's going to be happening today. Nothing more needs to be said, does it? Nothing at all. Thank you so much for watching, my loves. Leave me some lovely comments down below. You can still help me out with this family because we are continuing on into next week. Especially with the upstairs. If you've got any ideas for their bedrooms and stuff. Obviously, with all of these builds, I love when we get together as a community and, yeah, push it along nicely. So feel free to help me out down below. But other than that, I'm going to see you tomorrow for the next part. Goodbye.